Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, kindly subscribe to join this family. In this tutorial, we are going to learn how to crochet this very beautiful but simple sun hat or bucket hat. This is how it looks. To begin, we are going to make a magic ring. This is how I make a magic ring. You pass your crochet hook, pick this yarn from below, take off one finger, hold here to take off the next finger, hold here below the crochet hook, chain one and fasten to secure this loop. So we have made a magic ring. To begin, we are going to chain one, and the chain one counts as our first single crochet. So inside the magic ring, make 7 single crochets. I have made the second one. You go through the magic ring, yarn under, then yarn over and make a single crochet. You go through the magic ring, yarn under, and yarn over to make a single crochet, and continue that way until you have 8 single crochets. So the chain one plus 7 single crochets, those are 8 single crochets. Then to begin row 2, we are not going to slip stitch, but we are going to work continuous. So I'm marking this as the end of row 1. Then go at the top of the chain one that you made when beginning row 1, yarn under, pull a loop and make a single crochet. Then in the same stitch, go through, yarn under and make a second single crochet. Then go to the next stitch, make 2 single crochets also. So yarn under, make a single crochet. Into the same stitch, go through, yarn under and make the second single crochet. After that, go to the next stitch, yarn under, make a single crochet, and in the same stitch, go through, yarn under, make the second single crochet. So you are going to make 2 single crochets into every stitch across until the end. When you come at the end here, the marked stitch is the beginning of our next row. So before working on the marked one, you remove this yarn and you put it this way. You go through the stitch where you removed this yarn and make a single crochet. Go through the same stitch, make a second single crochet. So we have 2 single crochets in the same stitch. The next one, you make 1 single crochet, 1 only. Then the next one, you make 2 single crochets in the same stitch. This is one. Make the second one to make them 2. After making 2 single crochets in the same stitch, go to the next stitch, make 1 single crochet that way. So you alternate making this pattern, 2 single crochets in one stitch, the next one 1 single crochet. Repeat that until the end. At the end here, you remove this stitch marker so that to work at the top of the stitch where you have removed it, and that will be the beginning of row 4. So here, the first stitch, make 2 single crochets. I have made 1. This is the second one. After that, into the next 2 stitches, make 1 single crochet into each one of them. So I have made 1. Go to the next and make 1 single crochet. The next stitch, you make 2 single crochets in the same stitch, 1 and the second single crochet to make them 2 in the same stitch. So alternate making 2 single crochets in the same stitch. Then the next 2 stitches, you make 1 single crochet and alternate that until the end of row 4. The top of this stitch marker, will be the beginning of our next row, which is row 5. So before beginning working, you remove it and put it here so that you work at the top of this stitch where you removed the stitch marker, and you are going to make 2 single crochets into this first stitch. I have made one, this is the second one. After that, the next 3 stitches, make 1 single crochet into each one of them. So I have made 1 single crochet, go to the second, make a single crochet, go to the third, make a single crochet. After that, the next you make 2 single crochets in the same stitch. This is one, and the second single crochet in the same stitch, and you alternate that until the end. You make 2 single crochets in the same stitch. The next 3 stitches you make 1 single crochet into each one of them, and alternate that until the end. At the end here, the top of this stitch marker marks the beginning of our next row, which is row 6. So you remove the stitch marker before working on it. Row 6, make 1 single crochet into every stitch across. 1 single crochet into every stitch across until the end of this row 6. When you come to the end, you remove this yarn before working at the top of where the yarn was to mark the beginning of row 7. Into this first stitch, row 7, make 2 single crochets in the same stitch. I have made 2 single crochets. Then into the next 4 stitches, make 1 single crochet into each one of them. So I have made 1 single crochet, go to the next, make the second single crochet, go to the next stitch, make the third single crochet, go to the next stitch, and the fourth one. After 4 single crochets, then the next stitch, make 2 single crochets in the same stitch. 1 single crochet in the same stitch, make the second to make them 2, and alternate that until the end. After making 2 single crochets in the same stitch, the next 4 stitches you make 1 single crochet into each one of them. Alternate that until the end. When you come at the end here, the stitch where there is a stitch marker marks the beginning of our next row. So you remove the stitch marker and work at the top of the stitch where you removed the stitch marker. You are going to make 1 single crochet into every stitch across. This is row 8. Make 1 single crochet into every stitch across. This is row 8. When you come to the beginning here, remove this stitch marker so that you work at the top, and this marks the beginning of row 9. Then make 2 single crochets into this first stitch. Then into the next 5 stitches, make 1 single crochet into each one of them. So this is 1 single crochet, go to the next stitch, make the second single crochet, go to the next stitch, make the third single crochet, go to the next stitch, make the fourth single crochet, go to the next stitch, make the fifth single crochet. After that, you will make 2 single crochets in the same stitch. 1 single crochet and the second single crochet in the same stitch to make them 2, and you alternate doing that until the end. You make 2 single crochets in one stitch. The next 5 stitches, make 1 single crochet into each one of them, and alternate that until the end of this row. The beginning of the next row, you work at the top of where you removed the stitch marker. So row 10, you are going to make 1 single crochet into every stitch across. 1 single crochet into every stitch across to complete row 10. To begin row 11, work 2 single crochets into this first stitch this way, then into the next 6 stitches, work 1 single crochet into each one of them. So this is one single crochet, go to the next stitch, two single crochets, go to the next stitch, three single crochets, go to the next stitch, four single crochets, go to the next stitch, five single crochets, go to the next stitch, six single crochets. After six single crochets, the next stitch, make two single crochets in the same stitch, and you alternate that until the end. Make six single crochets in the next six stitches. Then after that, the next stitch, you make two single crochets in the same stitch, alternate doing that until the end. At the end, remove this stitch marker so that you work at the top of where you removed the stitch marker. That marks the beginning of row 12. So make one single crochet into every stitch across. This is row 12. You make one single crochet into every stitch across. At the end here, remove this stitch marker to work at the top of where you removed the stitch marker, and that marks the beginning of row 13. Row 13, this first stitch, you are going to make two single crochets in the same stitch this way. Then the next 7 stitches, make one single crochet into each one of them. I have made one single crochet. This is the second single crochet, third single crochet, fourth single crochet, fifth single crochet, sixth single crochet, and the 7th single crochet. After that is when you make two single crochets in the same stitch, and you will alternate doing that until the end of this row 13. Two single crochets in the same stitch, and the next 7 stitches, one single crochet into each one of them. Alternate that until the end, and at the end of row 13, the diameter of this circle measures 7.3 inches, and this is what I wanted. For you to measure your own size, take your head measurement, then divide that by 3.1314 to get your own measurements of the diameter that you need. And in case you realize that you have worked 13 rows and yours is not measuring the size you want, to continue working until you have the diameter of a circle that you want, I have written a pattern down here, so you can work until you have the size that you want. Then when you have the size of your diameter, then we are going to proceed to the next step. So after completing the circular part of this hat, we are going to work on the beanie part of this hat. So now we are going to be working one single crochet into every stitch across from this row, which is row 14 to row 22. So those will be 9 rows, working one single crochet across. So work across until you complete this row and continue working that way from row 14 to row 22. And I'm going to mark the beginning of the beanie part of this hat, so that when I'm done, I'm going to tell you the measurement and the number of rows that I worked. So continue working one single crochet until you get to row 22. So this is what I have. I have worked for 9 rows from where I left you from the circular part, and this is what I have, and I'm going to tell you the measurement. So I worked for 9 rows downwards, and it measures 2.5 inches, and this size is okay. You can make between 2.5 to 3 inches. For me, I have made 2.5. Then after that, now we are going to slip stitch from the back loops only. we are going to slip stitch from the back loops. These back loops, you see these single crochets at the top, we have 2 loops, so we are going to slip stitch from the back loops only, the loop facing away from you. So you go through, draw up a loop and draw it through the first loop, go to the next stitch from the back loop, draw up a loop and draw it through the first loop on your crochet hook, and make sure that you are not slip stitching too tight, because you don't want this hat to be too tight when fitting it. So continue slip stitching from back loops until the end. This way I'm coming to the end. When you are done slip stitching, you are going to fit this hat to ensure that you are not slip stitching too tight. And in case you find that it is too tight, you will consider removing the slip stitches and redoing them to ensure that they are not too tight. So now we are going to begin working on the brim of this hat. What you do, row 1 of this brim, go through the first stitch, make 2 single crochets in the same stitch. I have made one. This is the second single crochet in the same stitch. Then into the next 2 stitches, make 1 single crochet into each one of them. So I have made 1 single crochet here. Go to the next stitch and make 1 single crochet and repeat that until the end. The next you make 2 single crochets into the same stitch. This is 1. Make the second single crochet in the same stitch that way. Then into the next 2 stitches, make 1 single crochet into each one of them, and you repeat that, alternating 2 single crochets together in 1 stitch, and in the next 2 stitches make 1 single crochet into each one of them until you complete this row. The next row is row 2. Row 2 of this brim, you are going to make 1 single crochet into every stitch across, and from row 2 to row 6 you are going to make 1 single crochet into every stitch across. So continue working from this row 2 up to row 6, making 1 single crochet into every stitch across. So I have worked 6 rows for this brim, and this is what I have. Then row 7 into this very first stitch, you are going to make 2 single crochets in the same stitch. I have made 1. Make the second one that way. Then the next 3 stitches, make 1 single crochet into each one of them, and we will alternate that until the end of the row. So I have made 1 single crochet, go to the next, make the second single crochet, go to the next stitch, the third one, make a single crochet. After making 3 single crochets, the next stitch, make 2 single crochets in the same stitch. I have made 1 single crochet, make the second single crochet, and you are going to repeat that till the end. After making 2 single crochets in the same stitch, the next 3 stitches, make 1 single crochet into each one of them, and alternate that until the end of the row. Then the next row is row 8. You are going to make 1 single crochet into every stitch across. Row 8 of this brim, make 1 single crochet into every stitch across. When you are done with row 8, row 9, 10 and 11, you are also going to make one single crochet into every stitch across. So I will meet you after row 11. So I have made 11 rows for this brim, and this is how this hat looks like. And this brim measures 3 inches. So I'm done making this hat. I will remove this stitch marker so that I slip stitch. So go through this stitch where you remove the stitch marker and slip stitch. After slip stitching, you will chain 1 and cut. Then after that, you are going to use a needle so that you weave in this loose end. So I will take this yarn to the wrong side through the next stitch this way. Then I will go through some loops this way, and you can still go through more back loops this way, then cut the excess. We are remaining with one loose end to weave in, which was from the magic ring. So use a needle to weave in this loose end from the magic ring from the wrong side of this hat. So you go through some loops from the inside of this beanie and you secure this yarn. Then you can go through more loops from the inside of this hat, then cut the excess, and that is it. We are done making this hat. So that is how simple it is to make this beautiful bucket hat or sun hat. It is simple to make, but it comes out so beautiful. That is the end of this tutorial. Thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful. If it was, kindly leave a comment, share, subscribe. Then I will see you in my next tutorial.